Hold on, Rob. What you got in front of you? You got something black running right here.
This is I've got a knot in my back, so you put this little point right there on that muscle, that knot, and then I push on this.
Thought you had a kung fu stick of some sort there for a minute.
That's it. It's a PR-24. I'm fixing to start whooping some ass in here.
Don't sit on it.
No. No.
That was a kick out.
Get up. That's a profile.
That's for Saturday night. Everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Gettin 10-8. With me, always on my side, you see Mike Pontius over there, just like if we were on a truck, getting into all kind of trouble. Down below Mike Pontius, you see Vic Stewart. Vic is a paramedic. He's been on here before. He worked around the Hattiesburg and Columbia area. Hell, he even worked down South Louisiana and offshore. I'm sure we might hear some of that in here. But tonight you're going to see, and look, y'all are here for a treat, because let me tell you something. Getting law enforcement people on this channel, I found, is tougher than woodpecker lips. You know, you got to get retired law enforcement or you ain't getting them on, because they ain't saying shit about what they did at work. Below me is Officer Richard Barnes, who spent a lot of time with the police department here local in Mississippi. Work traffic enforcement. So, Richard, welcome to the show for your first time, brother. You were supposed to come on a few months ago.
Yeah. I've been busy, but I'm here now, Rob. You got me.
All right. Well, good deal. Richard Barnes, it's always a pleasure to have you on. And look, the only other law enforcement person I had on the show, I asked this question, and I got to get the answer from you. Is it Krispy Kreme or is it Shipley's?
Shipley's.
We're two for two on Shipley's. All right, I like it. The man's got taste.
Yep, Shipley's and Starbucks.
Okay, not Java Moe's.
No, God no.
Okay.
From a little Debbie at the Magic Mark. And a cup of coffee.
Just a little.
Yeah, I mean, the little Debbie was 35 cents. You get a honey bun for 35 cents and a cup of coffee for free at every daggum gas station on the coast.
That was breakfast. That was breakfast.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, Shipley's and Starbucks, bougie ass lunch or brunch or what?
I am bougie. Well, my girlfriend says I'm bougie.
Yeah, he's bougie. He's pretty bougie.
Yeah, I'm bougie.
He wears Gucci. He wears Gucci flip flops.
Hey, I got on Birkenstocks tonight.
What I say? He's bougie. Look, Richard lived across the cul-de-sac from me a couple years ago, and man, Richard was working on this Mustang all the time, and I'd go over and visit with him, and every time I'd go over, you'd hear Merle Haggard blaring from the garage while he's out there working on that thing.
I never heard that.
So, Richard, okay, one of the main reasons I wanted you on here, because we didn't talk about this with the last law enforcement officer, because he didn't do traffic enforcement. I mean, you're in, you're out, you're dealing with pulling people over on a regular shift. How many people would you pull over, do you think, on a shift?
On shift? Oh, woo. That's a good question, Rob. There's 25 tickets to a book. I'll go in Monday morning and get 4 books. By the end of the week, I was 3 books down, and I carried one over until Monday. I could get 3 more books. So what does that tell you?
You're writing 75 tickets a week.
Yeah,
Then
pretty much.
that court a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've got a court day.
Yes.
Because if you don't show up in court, they'll dispute it, and then if you aren't there, it gets
Yeah.
chucked, right?
They just chunk it out. Yeah.
Now I happen to know that nobody got out of a ticket that you wrote. You didn't fix tickets. But I have to ask, because officer discretion comes in a lot on the side of the road.
Oh no, time out. How do you know nobody got out of a ticket, Rob?
I didn't get one, but the rumor was Richard would write a ticket to his mother.
Oh, I love them kind of cops. They're my favorite.
Well, hey, Rob, you say that to say this. You say that for me to say this. My girlfriend sitting back here.
Uh-huh.
I wrote her 3 tickets on Neville Slate Road.
Your ex-girlfriend?
No, his girlfriend behind him.
Yep.
Holy.
And she still likes you.
She still like me.
Lord have mercy. But
Sound like she was speeding around trying to find you.
yeah, she might have been doing that, Richard. She might have been.
She may have been. You got a point. You got a point there, Vic.
She drove fast. There he is. I'm gonna drive fast. I'm gonna get a ticket. He got to pull me over for this. So I'm gonna drive 90.
That's right.
That's right. She was dragging a spinnerbait behind that vehicle, seeing if she could
There you
hook
go.
Richard.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead, Rob. Back to your officer discretion thing.
officer discretion. You roll up. People. If man, I'm just trying to get to the emergency room, and you see somebody's over there bleeding, you'll probably escort them to the emergency room. That's officer discretion for you to do that. But
Yeah.
I know there are lots of times, dude, when people try to talk their way out of that ticket with you. So I want to hear. Surely you can tell us a couple of stories. What are some of the best excuses that you heard on the side of the road?
Woo.
Get down.
Well, I have heard I got to use the bathroom, which that don't get me. You still get a ticket. I got to use the bathroom. I really got to go. I pulled this one woman over on South 40th Avenue. She was going into labor when I pulled her over.
Literally in labor.
Literally going into labor, and she said she knew me.
Yeah.
And she said, Barnes, I'm going in labor. She said, you can write me the ticket or you can follow me to the hospital. So I escorted her
Yep.
to the hospital at Forest General.
Thus, officer discretion. There you go.
No. Hey, no. Then he wrote her the ticket.
Yeah. No, she didn't get a ticket that day, but she did have I think she had a little boy.
Nice.
Did she name him Richard?
She should have named it Richard. Yeah.
Call him Little
Yeah.
Richard. Little
But
Richard.
There's been so many excuses, but this one woman I wrote down on, I didn't write her a ticket. I pulled her over right there at Broadway Drive in 49, the little bridge.
Yeah.
I pulled her over. She gave me her driver's license. And when she gave me her driver's license, she kind of hung her head. And I thought she was just mad that she got caught. Well, when she handed me her driver's license, I went back to my motorcycle, and I looked at her last name. And
Careful. Just don't say the last name. Just say what you're about to say.
yeah, I looked at her last name, and I'm like, wow. And I went back to her window,
Have a
and
nice
she's
day.
like, yeah, that's my last name. And I said, I was laughing so hard. I said, ma'am, you have a good day. And I drove off. Yeah, it was really bad.
Did
Yeah.
you let her off?
I did.
Okay.
I let her go.
Hey, Richard, look, back in '85 when I started on the ambulance, I was in AmServe in Jackson County, and my primary station was either Biloxi or Ocean Springs, and we were really good friends with the Ocean Springs Police Department. And so such good friends that we would go ride with them on our off days.
Yep.
Right.
On Fridays generally, or Thursdays or Saturdays or whatever. And when I grew up in Ocean Springs, so I knew a lot of people in Ocean Springs, and we were, very early 20s in the stage of
Young, dumb, and full come.
Yeah.
And it was amazing the number of friends that got pulled over. And again, we're talking 85, 86, 87. Life was different then. If they were too drunk, we ain't giving them a ticket. We're going to ride them home. I'd drive their car.
Yep.
Yeah.
Call their dad.
Mhm.
Hell, we had an officer in Biloxi who knew us. We knew him. He would pull us over if he thought we were drunk. And I don't give two shits what you say. We've done it. I did it. Unless you ain't drank, you ain't done it. Unless you haven't drank, you've done it. He would literally pull us over and put us in the car, park the car wherever we were, take us home.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Now,
I do that today.
look, the county that we grew up in, and Vic and I go back to our early teens. I think you were in 7th grade. I was in 6th when we started running together, Vic.
Right.
And when we got to where Vic could drive, he'd come get me, and we'd go buy a 6-pack of those 14-ounce old Milwaukees. It was the cheapest beer we could get, and it was the most beer we could get. And we pick it up at Sullivan Kilrain, which is in Forest County, where we're in a dry county,
Mm.
but Hattiesburg was right there next to us. So we would go across the county line. Sullivan Kilrain was a dirt road then. It wasn't even paved like it is now.
Where is that? Give me a geo. Where is it?
South Hattiesburg exit 60. It's
Highway 11?
Yeah, it crosses
Yeah.
11.
Yeah.
Highway 11. All right, go ahead.
It crosses 11 right there.
Yep.
There's a red light there now.
Right.
Anyway, that was a dirt road, and we would go and pick up our old Milwaukee right there at Sullivan Kilrain at the store. And man, it never failed. We drive by, we're looking at the railroad tracks. Yeah, ain't no law here. We picked up our beer. By the time we got back to the damn tracks, I'll be damned if James Lee wasn't sitting on the side of that damn railroad track waiting for us to cross into Lamar County. I bet we poured out more than 80 cases of beer on the side of that damn railroad trestle. You remember that, huh, Vic?
Oh yeah.
So you guys a little bit older than me, because in '86, I think I was in high school in '86.
Yeah, rub that in for us there, Barnes.
Yeah, go ahead, throw that salt in that wound.
Hey, he may have been in high school, but he drove to the same store to buy beer illegally, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I did.
And now, here's a piece of trivia for you. If you're ever in Hattiesburg and you want to buy beer at 8 in the morning on a Sunday morning, you are SOL if you were in the city of Hattiesburg.
Really?
That's true.
Yeah, unless you are in a grandfathered station, which is the station at Sullivan Kilrain. At 8 o'clock in the morning, you can load your ice chest full of beer and drive back into the county.
So,
Yeah.
so Hattiesburg, Forest County, or Hattiesburg City?
Hattiesburg City. The city of Hattiesburg, you cannot buy beer before noon on Sunday.
When did that start?
Oh, that's always
Oh.
been. Used to be you couldn't buy it on Sunday.
You can't. You some places you can buy it on Sunday, but it's gonna be after. What is it? 9 o'clock?
12.
Yeah, because I quit drinking 2 years ago, so I really don't know. But the county lines have so crazy now till you don't know what's Lamar County or what's Forest County or what's the city of Hattiesburg now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's grown out. It just run together.
Yeah.
Hattiesburg has grown like a tumor, and it was heading west.
Yeah.
And it grabbed all the businesses.
Look, Florida on Sundays, the state of Florida, you couldn't buy beer before noon on
That's what
Sunday.
that's what it is in Hattiesburg.
But that was the entire state. You
Um,
go to, but not at a convenience store.
well, look, let me tell you something. Down on the coast where you grew up, Mike, everything was legal. Even if it
And
was
it-
even if it was illegal, it was legal. There
Right.
there were casinos there before any of the casinos showed up.
I
The
never went to
sanctioned casinos. Yeah. Um yeah, that was kind of the wild wild west of Mississippi. And a lot of people, you know, they go, "Oh, you're from Mississippi?" You, Mike, can say, "No, I'm from the coast." Because
Yeah,
it's really different from the rest of the state.
It really is.
Yeah.
Look, I'm convinced that I-20 South
Yeah.
is I mean somewhere between 59 and 20 South,
Yeah.
a totally different state
Hmm.
than the rest. And I'm talking the Delta, I'm talking Oxford, I'm talking the Starkvilles, I'm talking.
Yep.
I mean, Meridian, borderline, Laurel. So, I mean, if you took a line at the south end of Laurel and go due east and west,
Yeah.
it'd be a good part of South. It'd be a good state called South Mississippi.
Yeah.
And it wasn't too many years ago in Starkville, any day or night of the week, you could not buy beer cold, but you could get cold liquor.
Let
Yeah.
me explain something to you about Starkville, Vic Stewart.
His son, his kids went there.
I was a Bulldog in 1983 in Mississippi State. And I was some stupid hick from Mississippi, probably borderline redneck from Mississippi, who knew to go to the Jitney Jungle at 8 a.m. on a Friday and get a case of beer and walk around to the dairy counter and pull out 2 gallons of milk and put that case of beer behind that milk and go to school.
Yeah.
And when you went back at noon after you was done with your Friday classes, you walk in there, pull that 2 gallons of milk out, got your case of beer out, walk to the register. You had a cold beer in the parking lot.
Yep.
Fact.
Oh, I got you. So you cooled your beer.
I
That's
bought
right.
cold beer. They sold hot beer. I bought cold beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only way you could do it.
I thought you
Unless
meant
You
you
wanted, that's the
bought
only
the
way you
beer.
could do it
and
unless you wanted hot beer.
I had it in my head that you bought the beer and the milk and you left the damn milk in your car all day during class.
No,
But now,
man, I hid it. I was running drugs. I was hiding the cocaine behind the
the
lumber.
DeLorean seats.
Yeah.
Now, you can't stop somebody from getting a cold beer if they want a cold beer.
That's right.
That's true.
Hell no. So yeah, that's my stories on cold beer. And I was I was telling you about Officer. Let's just call his first name Bull. He was a mountain of a man, probably about 6'6", and I don't think his real name was Bull. That was his nickname because this son bitch was huge. He was Sasquatch.
And this is Ocean Springs.
No, sir. He actually was in Harrison County, and I can't tell you. It's almost like he would park outside the club we was at.
Oh yeah, watching you. He was he was
He
T-capping.
got in trouble. Saved my ass a couple times. So anyway, appreciate the law enforcement professional courtesies out there, Richard Barnes. I'm sure you've done the same thing, and don't want you to get in trouble saying nothing. But thank y'all for what y'all did to the half brother, the step brotherhood.
Oh yeah, you know what? A lot of common courtesy goes a long way. I think the days of common courtesy though are gone here in Hattiesburg though, because we got so many new officers and they don't really know us old guys. Some of them do, some of them don't. But I think the days of common courtesy is almost null and void right now.
Well, and a lot of people look, here's the deal. When you get pulled over by a cop, just don't be an asshole. He got you, okay? When you get pulled over, have your license. You know he wants to see your license. He wants to see proof of insurance. And he wants to hear yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full. And if you're respectful to that officer, he's probably going to be respectful to you, and you might get away with a warning. But if you come across as, well, what'd you pull me over for? Your ass is toting a ticket back to the house. Do you know who my daddy is?
That really gets them going.
Look, let me tell you something. When I was on a board of directors of a homeowners association, I'm sitting out there, and there's some kid over there at the beach, and he's blaring music with cussing and all kind of stuff, and there's families on this beach with their young kids, and he's cussing and raising hell. And I said, dude, you're gonna have to settle that down. And he said, do you know who my dad is? And this is when I was working for BP. I told him, son, if your dad's name isn't Jesus Christ, George Bush, or Lord John Brown, I don't care what it is. Because Lord John Brown signs my checks. George Bush is the president. I don't want to get in no trouble with the feds. And good Lord, I don't want to get on the other side of Jesus.
That's right, man. Yeah. Sad. Anyway, that'd be a whole nother conversation.
Look, we lost Richard. He'll come back in.
Where y'all at?
Dixie.
Really? Y'all don't have DoorDash or you got Papa John's, Domino's? Really?
Closest thing they got to them is a Love's with an Arby's in it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Or Nukes.
Never before. Look, I was screwed up and stopped at Arby's in Crestview, I guess it was, a couple weeks ago. And I said, man, that French dip looks good. So I decided against getting it. I got the roast beef and put the horsey sauce on it and stuff. Lori, my wife, got the French dip. We get in the car. She says, damn, that was good. We get home about 4 o'clock that afternoon. She says, I said, what you want for supper? She says,
more of that French dip.
Let's go back to Arby's and get another French dip. It was good. I will give her credit on that.
One of the things I want to talk about tonight is we have seen, Vic and I have gone and seen 3 paramedic movies in theaters. When they came out, you know, whenever it came out, Vic, paramedics just came out the movie theater, and we went and saw it. And we both walked out shaking our head because it was just silly. And then Bringing Out the Dead, we were like, you know, it wasn't it. But we went. There is a movie called Code 3. The guy from The Office is in it. Dwight from The Office is playing a burnout medic. And Vic and I are sitting here watching this movie, and we're looking at each other. I said, this is going to be freaking real. They're going through, and it starts off, you're going through the emergency room, and they're showing ER doctor and what their average pay is, respiratory therapist, what their average pay is, nurse, what their average pay is. It gets down to janitor, what their average pay is, and then it shows paramedic. And his is right there with the janitor. They're, you know, what their average pay is for these guys out there doing the job, a thankless job. And
That was the head janitor.
Yeah, the head janitor. But it was funny that we sat there and looked at that, and then we're sitting there, and I'm not going to spoil the movie, but there were some calls that brought back, oh man, yeah, I've been on calls just like that. One of the things that I liked about the movie, I don't know about you, Vic, but they didn't make fun of any of those patients.
No.
You know, even the patients that it's supposed to be a funny part of the movie. It was a funny part of the movie, but it wasn't making fun of the patients. They were treating the patients the way they were supposed to. It was just a funny situation. And
it's a 24-hour shift.
It is a 24-hour shift, and that's the closest thing I've ever seen to what a real 24-hour shift is like. There were bullshit calls. There were heartbreaking calls. There was action trauma calls. Do what?
What?
Psych,
Psych calls.
psychological.
Right.
Yeah, there were 2 psych calls in there, and that Richard's a cop. He pulls somebody over if he can let the ambulance haul them off and that not be his problem. How many times have you done that, Barnes?
A bunch.
You could go with me or you can go with them, and every
Yep.
time they're gonna get in my truck.
They're gonna get that ambulance. Yep.
That ain't the only way that story goes. Because you get these people who like, man, I ain't going to the hospital. Car wreck.
Yeah.
I ain't going to the hospital. And so say, hey, Richard, come on. Hey, you can go with me or you can go to jail with him. I've used it reverse. Not just was doing it, but I've actually used it to convince patients to go because they needed to go to the damn hospital.
Yep. Yep.
I did not take anybody to the hospital. Let me rephrase that. I don't want to go to the hospital. Well, you don't have any injuries? No, I'm not hurt. Man, you need to go get checked out. You know, the dude don't need to go to the damn hospital. Yeah. We were pounded into our head, go.
Get him to the hospital, yeah.
But the ones that I would rather somebody, let's say they're drunk, maybe they learned a lesson. You either go with the ambulance or you going to jail.
Mm.
I would try to talk them into going to the hospital because chances are, you know, if they may or may not get a DUI because they went to the hospital, and you can kind of tell somebody who's learned their lesson. Somebody don't give a shit. I'm going to say, you need to go to jail because you don't want to go to the hospital, or I'll pull out the biggest needle I got.
Yeah.
Now I'm going with the cop.
Yeah.
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 No, seriously.
He didn't like that 14 Gelco.
No shit. I mean, you pull a garden hose out and fix and stick it in the arm.
Oh, hell with that.
I'm good. Come get me.
No, hell with that. I'd pull out that 14 Gelco and I'd put the tourniquet right there and start patting the back of their hand.
There was very little, unless the cop was a dick, and there were dick cops who didn't like ambulance people. And I'm sorry, Richard, they just didn't freaking like us. And
yeah, there's some out there.
And their job was, I'm a policeman. I'm not a fucking EMT or a medic. And you need to go to the ambulance. You need to go to the hospital. You're going to jail. Dude, chill out, bro. They're hurt. They got in a wreck or they fell down. They got something happened domestic. Whatever. Don't be that way to them. And which is 1% of the law enforcement, be it highway patrol or SO or feds or local or whatever. You know, 1 out of 10, maybe 1 out of 100 that I just don't think they gave 2 shits about us as caregivers.
Hey,
yeah. Well, you know what? I think that's changed a lot now because, you know, if well, see, you know, you didn't give me, you know, my rights, or I was really hurt or whatever now. So really now the police between us, it's really, your hands are tied really now.
Well, it gotta be.
You don't have those choices anymore.
Yeah.
If cell phones have ruined a lot of stuff.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And then you get these jackasses that say that you don't have to have a registration to ride on the road. You don't have to show your license and all that. You know, those people are ruining a lot of authority, which a police officer has authority. I don't give 2 shits who you are, where you're from.
Absolutely he does.
But I think what Richard, what you're saying was back in the day, it was you could use some common sense as a law enforcement officer.
Yeah.
To dictate what happened. And today, you better know your shit when you pull up on some jackass, got a phone in your face. You better know what the shit you talking about. They're going to make you look stupid. You're going to be the next infamous video on YouTube.
Exactly.
Well, and look, here's the thing that I'm loving. Have y'all seen any body cam footage where the cops are arresting all these people?
I love it.
I love watching body cam footage of them, and you know, it shows, oh, I got such and such and such and such. I'm going, and they go, I'm getting abused. I'm getting abused. No, you aren't complying. Look, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to ask. Then they're going to tell. Then they're going to make. That's the order of things. Ask them, tell them, make them. That's the progression of what's going to happen. So if you get pulled over, when you get pulled over, a lot of people don't know this. You are detained as soon as you are pulled over. So if he asks you to do something, comply. You will take a whole lot less ass whoopings if you just comply with what these guys are asking you for. And if you're decent to them, chances are they're going to be decent to you.
True.
So I'm going to get off my soapbox there.
Hey, my favorite instant social media things are the Georgia State Troopers in their pits.
Oh, the pit maneuvers? Oh, yeah.
Freaking love it. You son of a bitch, you should have stopped.
Yeah. You wrecked my car. Well, you should have pulled over when them blue lights was going by.
Should have pulled over. That's right.
Innocent person died. Really?
Yep.
This person doing 140 miles an hour running from a police officer on the interstate who's innocent.
No, that's a felony fleeing. That's not innocent.
That is true. Yep. I do like my girlfriend says, I was hiding in the bushes when I gave her them 3 tickets. I wasn't hiding. I'm too big to hide.
Yeah, that is true. You a mountain of a man.
She swears up and down. She's like, you were hiding. I'm like, no.
I think you like Eddie Murphy's talking about. I think you a Bigfoot. Somebody shaved your ass down and taught you to speak.
That's right.
You know, it's kind of hard to hide on that Harley Davidson you was on, ain't it?
Huh?
It was kind of hard to hide on that Harley Davidson.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
I mean, you ain't hiding in the woods.
Now, let me ask you, were you always on a Harley? Because the first motorcycle cops at Hattiesburg were on Kawasaki Police 1000s.
Yeah, we had 2 of them. Vic should know Mike. You know Mike? Can I give last names?
Yeah.
Mike Childress.
Yeah.
Yeah, now he rode a Kawasaki, and there was Ray Wiley rode a Kawasaki for a long time until I think he wrecked it. And I've always ridden a Harley. I've from the day out of motor school, I've ridden a Harley. So that's all I've ever rode. So
Richard had those.
Some of them Honda Valkyries.
What now?
You needed some of them Valkyries.
Yeah. Hey, even on off duty, Vic, he had Harleys, and look, but unlike his duty bike, he had ape hangers on those Harleys. He'd be riding around like this.
Yeah. Love them.
There is nothing that even remotely looks comfortable about that.
You know what? Everybody says that. I had a partner. He's a Barnes. That can't be comfortable. I'm like, buy you a set. He bought him a set, and he's man, it's the best thing since sliced bread. They're really comfortable.
I mean, they're like above your head, right?
Yeah.
That's why they're ape hangers. You're hanging on.
I know they are. I just don't see how it's comfortable.
It's comfortable. The only thing is just drop your shoulders and ride it.
I would rather have the what was it called? The ones that came down and bent over the tank that you just kind of hung. I know they were dangerous.
The drag bars?
Yeah.
We had the long fork, but it kind of came over and it was
them goats. They call them goats.
Goats.
Yeah.
That looks more comfortable to me than the hangers.
It's all according to how far you riding. Above your head, you're not gripping that thing like it's a death grip. You're just getting relaxed on it. And it's a lot easier to give it gas, just letting your hand rest.
That's it.
And I can imagine, look, this does feel bad because I drive down the road and in my truck, I grab that oh shit handle just to have something to have my arm up instead of being all scrunched up.
Well, if you think about it, how often do you drop your wrist over the top of your steering wheel?
Exactly.
Regular.
Yep.
That's straight out.
Yep.
I don't know, man. For number one, I I had a Honda Trail 50 back in 1974. Jumped it
9
into
years old.
yeah, jumped it into the pond in Gainesville, Florida because I'd wrecked on it. I'm like, man, this thing gonna kill me. I don't know what. I just jumped it into the pond. It's probably still there today. I don't know.
Left it
Didn't
in
ride.
the pond.
Yep, jumped it into the pond. We used to catch the biggest alligator snapping turtles in there you ever seen in your life. I'm talking 3 feet. And then the next time I rode a motorcycle was my buddy had a BMW cruising motorcycle. Don't ask me no numbers or nothing. I don't know jack shit about it. And for some reason, his stepson, my high school buddy, liked motorcycles. So we were riding this BMW up and down the street one day. Thomas took down the road and came back. Said, hey, go ahead and get on. So I took it down the road and come back. And I guess the clutch and the brake are two different handles or something. And
Yeah.
I proceeded to hit a column on his carport with his BMW motorcycle.
With his dad's BMW motorcycle.
Yeah. And decided then and there that. So anyway, he went off to the Air Force. He comes back, his in Barksdale, and he bought a Ninja 1000 or something. This is back in like 85, 86. And we wasn't drinking at all. And he comes to my house one night. He said, come on, let's go to Biloxi. I'm like, all right. So I go to get my keys. He said, no, we're taking a motorcycle. So I ain't got a helmet. You don't remember this. You used to get ices in Major League Baseball helmets. Robbie?
Yeah.
I had a Cincinnati Reds icy
Helmet. It was legal. You had a helmet on.
Put it on my head. It wasn't DOT, so it wasn't legal. So anyway, put it on my head. And we're going across the Biloxi Ocean Springs Bridge.
Hit that grating.
That wasn't a 2-seat bike. It was pretty much a 1-seat bike. And it had that old metal grating for the drawbridge.
Yep. Get squirrely on it.
And I'm thinking, what the hell's fitting to happen? We're going kind of fast, and all I could see was 80.
On its speedometer.
Well, unfortunately, it wasn't a speedometer. It was the tachometer.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Everything's a blur as it goes past you.
Fact. We were doing 8,000 RPMs, and I don't know what the speed was, and I really don't want to know what the speed was. But my Cincinnati Reds helmet.
Blew off.
Nope. I was holding that sumbitch on in case we.
That was going to offer you a whole bunch of protection there.
Yeah. So that just goes to show that my respect for motorcycles, Richard. I don't know if you ever laid one down or not, but I have picked up dozens, and I'm lucky I wasn't one of them twice. So, do I own a motorcycle? No. Do my kids own motorcycles? No. Period.
Well,
Don't matter how good you are, how long you've been riding. It's not a matter of
It's when.
if, it's when. It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. Yeah.
so
I remember. Hold on. One more story back to Gainesville. I remember we had a 1970 Vista Cruiser. I've told some of this story before. Pontiac station wagon had a sunroof eyebrow across the front of the car between the back
because it
seats.
had a raised up on the roof.
Yeah.
It had a step.
Anyway, that really is irrelevant to the story, but I just thought I'd say that. And we're pulling out on the 28th Avenue, and some dude's test driving a motorcycle. Mama pulls out. Motorcycle hits the driver's tire fender, flies over. Double D dead. So that was strike 3 for motorcycles right there.
Mm.
Yeah. Anyway, I commend you and respect you, and I'm glad you're here to talk to us.
Oh yeah, I love them.
Well,
Yep.
Vic's got like 3 motorcycles in his garage right now.
4.
4. Oh, excuse me. He's
Counting
got.
the trike. 4.
He'll probably. Speaking of which, we're getting closer, so y'all are going to hear me talk about this event several times up until it comes and goes. But on October the 18th, if you're in this area and you want to support a great cause, there is a barbecue cook-off in D'Iberville, Mississippi. And right now you can't see us because you're looking at the poster. On that poster, you'll see a barcode down there, a QR code. If you click on that, you can buy your ticket and have your armband waiting on you when you get there. $40, all you can eat barbecue, all you can drink beer, 2 live bands or 3 live bands? 2 live bands and soft drinks, everything you're going to need, and all the barbecue you can eat. And son, let me tell you, I'm talking brisket, I'm talking pulled pork, I'm talking ribs, I'm talking sausage, and the sides that they make are just off the chain. They come up.
When is this?
October the 18th. October the 18th in D'Iberville.
Send me the.
I'll send you the info, Richard. All this money that's raised at this event goes to a great foundation. It's for Memorial Hospital in Gulfport, and they help people with the incidentals that their insurance won't cover. One of the things.
Oh, that's good.
One of the things that they do is Mike had, and he's talked about this several times, so I'm just going to tell you, Mike had cancer. He was treated for cancer at Gulfport Memorial. When he started doing this and raising money for this foundation, he said, well, what are some of the things that y'all need? And he found out about these cooling caps. Now, when you go in and you get chemo, you are heating everything up, and that's why you lose your hair. You're overheating your scalp and all with all that chemo. Well, ladies don't want to deal with losing their hair. Well, they've got something called a cooling cap that they put on their head, and it form fits. It's just theirs. They're the only person that can wear it. It keeps that head cool. They don't lose their hair. But insurance...
97% reduction.
97% reduction in hair loss. Okay. I'd say they don't lose their hair. 97% is pretty damn good. But here's the thing with that. Insurance doesn't cover it because that's not a medical necessity. That's nice to have.
Vanity.
But let me tell you what. The money that Mike has raised with this cook-off and that foundation has bought and saved several heads of hair. How many heads of hair, Mike?
Man, we bought 7 cooling caps the first year, and I don't know how many we ended up buying the next year. So, we raised almost $30,000 in 2 years in the backyard here. So it's a good event. It's something that's near and dear to us. After treatment, the first thing I did was go run a 5K run. And I was talking to a buddy of mine who puts the run on. And I said, man, what do you do with this money? And he ended up telling me about the foundation. So he put me in touch with him. And I said, man, we'd love to help raise money to help people. And so, it's just been fun. This is year 5. We got the opening band, Rob, has actually picked up a new singer. And they have got, if you like good 80s and 90s rock and roll with a little mix of some country, it's really more of a rock band. Man, the network is going to knock this shit out the park. And then John Hoyer and Olye and the Reverie coming down from Nashville. They play with the Red Clay Strays, Randy Rogers. I'm probably about 10 groups I can think of off the top of my head that they've opened for coming back from Nashville. But anyway, the crazy part is he gets back in on the 15th, flies into New Orleans. He's going to his mom's house. He lives in central Louisiana on the 16th. They're actually coming here on the 17th. They're going to hang out for the kids' barbecue. So we're doing a barbecue this year, Richard and Vic, on Friday night for ages 7 to 10 and 11 to 14, a kids' barbecue. For $50, they get to keep and if you know any 7 to 10s or 11 to 14-year-old kids that want to cook, it's $50. And if they can't afford it, just tell me. They get to keep a 22-inch Weber kettle, retail $120. They get to keep a charcoal chimney to start, retail $12.99. They get a quick temperature probe. They get a hot glove. They get a bag of charcoal. They get a spatula, and they get 2 pounds of ground beef. Plus, they get a $40 armband to come in the next day.
Heck yeah.
For $40.
And what they're doing for $50, these kids, and they're entered, and it's a contest for the kids. Who makes the best hamburger?
They get to keep all that I said.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
So they're leaving here with $250 worth of stuff, plus the $40 armband, and they're learning how to cook.
You are raising up future pit masters is exactly what you're doing.
So that's all. October 17th and 18th is when that is. Just to clear.
Drop me the link. Drop me the link, Ralph, because I want me and my girlfriend to come. We're always looking for something to do on the weekend.
And look, it's a great little trip. D'Iberville's not that bad. I'm fixing to send it to you as we speak. Richard Barnes.
And look, if you come in on your bike, I'll even let you park in the back.
Yeah, Vic, if you come on your bike, that's because I have to park in a lot and get golf carted over to the event.
Well, I guess you riding bitch.
Your wife is riding.
She's got a bike.
Okay. No, I'm going down there in the truck.
Rob's coming to work. Hey, Robbie, I'm out of beer.
All right. Hey, wait, we ain't done, Richard. We're just going to take a 5-minute break, brother.
Good Lord, how long this thing last?
How long do you want to be here?
I can spend some time with my old lady.
All right. Well then let's do an outro for you, and we'll just talk about you when you leave. I just sent you the link.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Well, it's time for our first break because we got to drain the main vein and pick up some more beer. And Richard over here has prior engagements that he needs to do. So here in just a second, we're all going to be back except for Richard. You're going to see us with just me, Mike, and Vic, and we can finish our discussion on Code 3, the movie, right about now. Yep, we're back. That quick. For us, that was about 6 or 7 minutes, and we bullshitted for a little bit before we got here, but we're back. Richard took off. Hey, what'd y'all think of Richard coming on?
Awesome dude. Can't wait to meet him in person.
Look,
Richard known for years.
I was excited when he said he's got some more retired law enforcement folks that want to come on and do the show. So
Heck yeah.
We'll start having some more law enforcement presence here on the show. And as we get closer to winter time and Bud McMahon's not so busy, we'll have more fire stuff too. Of course, we've had Richard and Mike Stanton on and their fire rescue. So we've had some fire representation, medics, but getting some more law enforcement, I'm all about it.
I tell you, I forgot to ask Richard when he was on here. My good buddy Charlie Hawkins was a motor dude in Gulfport for a long time. And I don't know if he left before Richard got onto the bikes or not, but Charlie was an instructor. And he remained a bike instructor for a long time after he became a fireman. He left Gulfport Police Department, retired from Biloxi Fire Department.
I'll be damned.
Yeah, I bet they know each other.
Look, let me tell you what, you said you wanted to hear more about the movie, and I want to talk a little bit more about it. I want to hear what Vic had to say, but let me tell you what, I'm going to do a shameless plug for this movie. And right here, we're going to take a look at the trailer.
Medic 42, respond emergent to psychiatric patient.
$20 said he's gonna be butt ass naked.
Well, there you have it. It's a draw. Shirt, no pants. That's like Winnie the Pooh. Mike, you gonna let me drive today?
No. I will. You healed.
I should mention at this point that you're all going to die. Heart attack, car accident, fork in the toaster, or peanut allergy.
Drowning's the worst way to go.
Best way to die?
Decapitation. You guys ever see anyone choke to death?
All we want to do is save your life. Some of you don't make it easy.
Get out of my house! Gun! I know you can run that fast.
Most people on this job can't last a year. They can't hack it.
Take my dollar, you mother...
You are senior, you get the student.
No.
Is there another paramedic I should put them with? Somebody better than you?
Nobody's better than me.
Let's hit it.
Why are you here?
Because I want to save lives. You have people's lives in your hands. How can you not care?
I'm burning out, and the whole system is broken. I need the hell out of EMS. I'm quitting. That's it. I'm out of here.
Please don't go out like this.
You gonna miss me? We're just co-workers, man. You act like I'm like your best friend. Damn it, I'm his best friend. Can you feel the...
I got into EMS because I really wanted to help people.
Officers, we've got this totally under control.
But this is a job.
Oh, come on! Come on!
You clock in, you clock out.
I don't think you really believe that.
Can you feel the... I'm the President of the United States! Mr. President, let's take your service, man. We're here to evacuate you and take you to the White House.
What about the First Lady and the Vice President?
We're gonna send a second chopper.
She's been having a little trouble breathing lately.
Define lately.
Yep.
That'll be awesome. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, it is a great. Now, of course, the trailer, they're showing you the funniest parts, but Vic, that movie wasn't all fun and games, was it?
No. It had some good serious parts about it.
To me, I thought it was an accurate representation of what a 24-hour shift looked like.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you had your share of bullshit calls. You had your share of psych calls. What I really loved, and this brought back a memory to me, and it was in the trailer. So when the driver says, hey, defined lately, when this cadaver in the bed, they said, yeah, he just hadn't been breathing right lately. Defined lately. Well, look, I'm going to tell you, I rolled up on a facility one time, and they said, well, she's having trouble swallowing. She's not eating good. I get there, her neck is rigored. She's got rigor. And I said, having trouble eating? Yeah. The aide had been in there feeding her, and she had that going on, and the aide was filling her up. When I put the laryngoscope in just to see, she was full of grits from here down. Full of grits. And, you know.
Wasn't enough butter?
No, I didn't work it. There was obvious rigor in the neck. That's all I needed to say. No, the patient's not going to make it. I'm not doing anything.
And it was just hard grits. That wasn't rigor mortis. That was grit mortis.
Yeah.
No, that was rigors. And, you know, the patient was a DNR anyway. I don't know why they chose to try to call us, to turf it to us. And they wanted us, of course, to take her out and work her. This patient's a DNR, but yeah, that struck me. I'm not going to say the name of the nursing home. I'm not even going to say the city, and it wasn't in the state. I'll just say that it was not in the state of Mississippi. It was another nursing home, but yes, there was grits in the gullet.
You know, you talk about hadn't been breathing right. I don't remember if I told this story or not, because we've told a bunch of stories, but in a particular town on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, paramedic I was, get a call for unknown emergency. And we get there. The fire department was there. And we walk into the room, and let's just call her Miss
Smith.
Miss Smith. I can't even remember what her predominant history was, but she was on a ventilator 24/7.
On a vent at home?
And walk in, and we picked her up once a week.
Early hospice.
Sepsis. No, shit, she's been on it for like 15 years, man. I can't remember what the underlying cause was. That's why it's irrelevant, but it's relevant. But she was at home on a vent, well cared for, well taken care of.
Private nurses, home health,
yeah.
and private sitters.
And they weren't sure what was wrong with her. So keep in mind that she even had a little box vent that we would take, had a battery backup. So we'd pick her up, we'd put the vent on the stretcher, and it's just breathing for her, steadily breathing for her.
Yeah.
18 respirations a minute.
With or without a pulse, it's breathing for her.
And so I'm like, what's wrong with Miss Smith? Man, it just ain't been right. And when'd she eat last? Yesterday she just hadn't been responding very well. I'm like, okay. Then she's breathing like a son bitch. Ain't nothing wrong with her. Grab her on. Something don't feel right here.
No pulse. Too cold.
Put her on the monitor.
Asystole. Yep.
D-A-D-E-double-A dead.
Yeah.
But we're just there talking to her, and she's breathing like normal. Ain't nothing different. She didn't talk to you. She had no emotion. She had a ventilator, and she was dead. Yep. So, how long has she been like this? A while. I don't know.
Did she have rigor in her neck?
Stiff as a freaking board. I don't know how the lungs expanded.
Yeah. Rigor, typically, the first place you get that rigor is in the neck.
Yep, right there in the neck.
But I had a case one time where, now this was on the coast, got a call, went to this house, and this old man lived in the house. He was divorced from his wife. His kids were all gone. He was in the process of drinking himself to death. And the house that he was in, he had lost his power. But he had an extension cord. His neighbors let him use an extension cord to run over. So he had a TV that he could watch TV and a lamp in the room. The whole house is just freaking trashed. It's unusable except for one room, and he's in that one room. And he's got power for his TV and he's got power for the lamp. But it's cold. Now on the coast it really doesn't get cold, but it was cold enough. He had no heat, had no space heater in there. He said, man, it's getting cold. So he decided he was going to warm himself up, and he had this old keg. So he just put that keg in the corner of the room and put some charcoal briquettes on it, lit it up, and he's sitting there watching TV, smoking cigarettes and drinking his whiskey. And about 2 days goes by and nobody sees Johnny walking around the yard, So they call us to do a wellness check, us and Gulfport Fire. We go in, bust the door in, or the fire department busts the door in. We go in behind them. There's Johnny sitting there looking at the TV with a cigarette burned down to the filter, bottle still held in his left hand, his eyes half open looking at the thing. Been dead as a wedge for about 2 or 3 days. Luckily, it was cold. He was just as stiff as a board. When you grabbed his arm, the whole damn body moved.
Oh yeah.
So he had rigored on up. But Folks, if you get in a situation where you can't get warm, do not light a Coleman stove. Do not light a gas heater or oven in the house. Do not use charcoal briquettes to warm your room, because there is this gas called carbon monoxide, and it will come and get you in a hurry.
So, here's my take on that. I think it's inefficient burning of the flame that causes the carbon monoxide poison, because or improper ventilation.
He's
Gas
in a
stove,
closed up room. He's in a closed up room.
I think the ventilation's a factor there, but at the end of the day, people are going to do. I've had several carbon monoxide deaths. Had a shrimp boat, had 5 fishermen died in it. They had a generator running in the cabin.
Yep.
Why they running forward through it, I don't know. Had a lady in Gulfport, exact same scenario. She had a fireplace. She didn't open the damper, and a house filled with smoke. She suffocated to death. People desperate times call for desperate measures, and people are going to do it. We can do all the PSAs on, Christmas tree lights and open flames and stuff. I think people are going to do what they're going to do, Robin.
Yeah. I love the cheap extension cords where they're plugging everything they can into it, trying to draw too much electricity to it, and they short out and burn up.
Yeah. Well, if that guy, he had a garden 50-foot extension cord running to his neighbor's place. And he had a 3-way plugged into the bottom of it so he could run his TV and his lamp. But I wouldn't doubt if he had a space heater, he would have probably plugged that damn space heater in there and fried the crap out of that extension cord.
Yeah, you don't know what people go through in that scenario. Thankfully, I don't know that any of us have had to. I mean, I've been cold as shit on a cookout before, on a boat before, but
I can always put on more clothes.
You can't burn a house down today was the point of this old segue that we did.
No.
You try to burn a house down today, you did it on purpose.
Yeah. That's right.
Back to the movie where we started, because there was one call, and I don't want to do spoilers, but there was one call where we're sitting there and he calls a drug, and we both look at each other like, what the hell? And sure enough, it was a mistake in the movie, and it was a mistake. But we picked up on it immediately, said, oh, that's our first mistake in the movie. But no, it was supposed to be made.
Yep.
Hold on. Rob, what you got in front of you? You got something black running right here.
This is, I've got a knot in my back. So you put this little point right there on that muscle, that knot, and then I push on this. And it's like having somebody put an elbow in your back and massage you.
I thought you had a kung fu stick of some sort there for a minute.
That's it. It's a PR-24. I'm fixing to start whooping some ass in here.
Don't sit on it.
Huh?
Don't sit on it.
No.
That was a kick out.
Get up. That's a profile.
That's for Saturday night.
I'll pay to watch that.
No.
All the freaking movie, just tell us what the drug was.
It was atropine. He called wanting an order for atropine, and it was not
2 milligrams of atropine.
It was
For
not.
what?
It was not indicative for the call. That's all
What
I
do you
want.
want?
Huh?
What did he want to give atropine for if it didn't call for it?
He wanted to sedate the patient. Atropine is not going to sedate that patient.
No.
Well, the point of the movie is, I think he was stressed. It'd been a long shift, and he just blurted out the wrong drug. Correct amount, but wrong drug.
Yep.
So what do we think he was trying to give him? Valium?
He wanted atropine. I mean, Ativan.
Ativan.
Yeah, they don't carry, and that's one of the things I had to ask Vic, because Vic Vic has still got his registry. He's just not practicing. But I mean, I had to ask Vic because he's the of us three. He was on the truck, what, a year and a half ago, Vic?
Year and a half ago.
Year and a half ago, Vic was on the truck. So I had to say, hey, are y'all even carrying Valium anymore? Nope. So, but they're carrying stuff that we didn't have. Ketamine, Ativan.
Oh, yeah. So your controlled stuff, you got, all right. So we had morphine and we had Valium.
And Demerol.
That was
Valium's no more.
drugs.
Demerol if you were allergic to morphine.
That was later.
Don't think we carried Demerol. We got fentanyl, Ativan. Good Lord, I'd have to go through my phone and look.
Grayson and them carried Toradol or something down here on the coast, my son.
We have Toradol.
That's
we
a
were carrying
steroid.
Toradol, but if the patient, of course, if you'll remember, if you know for sure they're going in for surgery, you don't give it.
Right.
A lot of paramedics could not seem to remember that. We used to carry a lot of paramedic students, and we had one that wouldn't quit sucking between his teeth every time we'd get a call. And he'd be sitting on the drug box right between me and the driver.
Yeah.
And it would drive me up the wall to hear that. We was going after a burn victim one day, and we had 20 minutes to even get to him. And I said, look, go back there and go ahead and spike me a bag of Silvadene. He is hunting all over it, but it got him out of my ear. And my partner looked at me and said, you're an asshole.
Yep.
Yes, but I'm not hearing that sucking between the teeth no more. If you get a chance, Mike, go see the movie, and everybody listening. Code 3 is a pretty accurate movie to true EMS.
A 24-hour shift. This is the kind of grab bag of shit that you're going to see.
Vic, did you watch The Pit?
The Pit?
Yeah.
It's a series, Vic.
Oh, no.
That's 24 hours. It's a 24 episode. You're living minute by minute, hour by hour. First episode is the first hour of a 24-hour shift on a hospital.
Really?
Or was it a 12-hour shift? It was a 12-hour shift.
It was a 12-hour shift. So each episode was 1 hour long, and it was a 12-hour shift. So Lori and I watched this show called The Pit, and I told Robbie about it, and I think he watched the whole sumbitch in like a night.
I binged it over a weekend.
Yeah, he literally watched every episode in a weekend. But it sounds very similar to this Code 3. So I told Lori, I said, we got to go to the movie. We got a lot of stuff going right now. But I just, talking to Rob, and I actually went on the internet and watched a couple of trailers and a couple of reviews, and pretty much everybody's saying the same thing, man, that it's as real can get. It's, they're going to dramatize for effect. And I'm just speaking from what I read.
Right.
But they're going to dramatize for effect. But it sounds like, and some of the reviewers saying, there was a paramedic from Los Angeles on one of the reviews I read that says, holy shit, this was my shift last night.
Yeah. And look, let me tell you something. That ambulance that is in the movie, Lifeline Ambulance is the real ambulance company in Los Angeles, a third-party ambulance company. And they said to prep these actors, meaning the three actors that are on the truck, the driver, the medic, and the student that was in there, they put them in the back of that ambulance. Now, they didn't do this for while they were filming. You can't be doing it driving down the road. But they put these folks in the back of that ambulance and said, all right, hop in, we're going to drive you around town. Put them in the back and said,
no seatbelt.
No seatbelts. Don't put your seatbelts on. So they had to learn to grab that top rail like we all had to learn so you didn't get thrown everywhere. The actors were like, man, how do y'all do this? Hey, that's part of the gig.
They didn't even try to start an IV upside down yet with one hand.
Yeah.
That's right.
They did that much realism. The CPR in that, I was watching, because you've seen Hollywood CPR where they're doing that. They're doing freaking CPR in this. They were doing correct. And the writer of this movie was actually a paramedic. He wrote it as a short story, and the director got hold of it, and they got with him and turned it into the movie script. And, you know, those patients were amalgams of patients that he had dealt with. You know, they didn't have, you know, of course, the names. One is like he said, it was an amalgam. There was 2 psych calls on this show. That might have been 30 or 40 different psych patients. And hey, I want to make sure this gets put in there and this gets put in there. So they turned it into 2 patients, these 2 psych calls. One of them was bullshit and one of them was actually a psych call. And that's all I'm going to say. I don't want to go give it any more than that. It was, I hope y'all don't mind me dropping that trailer for the movie in there, but this thing has a limited release. It is only showing for like a week and a half, 2 weeks in the theaters that it's showing, and it's got a real limited release. 2 theaters in South Mississippi are showing it. One of them is in Hattiesburg and one of them is in D'Iberville, and you got about a week to get in there and watch it, Mike.
Watch it tomorrow night. I got my golf game on Thursday night at the house here, but we may go try tomorrow night.
Then afterwards, when I got home, you can pre-order it on Amazon Prime, and you'll own the rights to the movie, so you can watch it whenever. You know, if you've got your purchases at all the movies that you've bought on Amazon Prime, you can go back and watch them over and over and over. It's like buying DVDs, but it's just digital on your machine. And I went ahead and I pre-bought the movie, and the movie was $14.99. And you know, I say, well, man, I spent $14.99 when I went to that movie theater. I spent $18 for a drink and the ticket, but they need people to go see it at the theater. So hopefully, you know, it'll get moved on to some other theaters. Now, we're just like this podcast. We're a niche audience, you know, we're looking for the first responders. So we don't have a whole bunch of traffic to this podcast, because if you're going to sit around and listen to 3 old paramedics and a cop and some firefighters, you're in EMS, you were a cop, you were a firefighter, you know, you've got some relations to what we're talking about. And the show was pretty much like the calls, where we sit there and review the funny calls that we've had, and we review the bad calls that we've had on here. And I've shared about burnout stuff, how I kind of got burnt. It's the movie kind of does all that, but they put it in a movie form with some good acting.
Yeah.
You know, you think about the target audience for this movie. So, you know, Johnny Gage and DeSoto, they were emergency.
They were made for TV for everybody to look at, and we were all looking at it on Friday nights.
And everybody
Roy and Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chips. Everybody watched it.
That's right.
Quincy MD.
Oh, absolutely.
But somewhere along the way, medical shows became
soap operas.
Soap operas, medicals, something. Vic, last week we had Mike Stanton and John Knight on here, and I was actually part of a show, Rescue 911, filmed episode down here. Rescue 911 was really a good show.
Yeah.
There's a couple fire shows, Chicago Fire and Wildfire, but it's all freaking
scripted,
made for TV drama.
Yep.
But you would think dude, they got reality shows about reality shows today.
Yeah.
So people want real life shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why Code 3 doesn't fall under the reality show realm. I
don't either, but if people like so much damn drama, they need to get into EMS.
I 1,452% agree. There is no career other than maybe a policeman. I love firemen to death. My son's a fireman, but dude, the fucking house is on fire. They go, there ain't no drama.
That's right.
They go, if there's anybody in there, they go get them.
That's
And
it.
psych, domestic, family squabbles, police, same thing. It's all drama. Those two fields, police and fire, or police and EMS, are 99% drama in one way or another.
Yep.
And you would think we could make a show that would draw the general non-public safety into
Well,
it.
the one thing they leave out of all these shows that rings true to life is the drama amongst coworkers at work and who's sucking butt.
Or
No, they they kind of touched
especially
on
EMS.
it. They kind of touched on it in Code 3.
A little bit.
who's poking their partner?
No, but I mean well, you saw it in the dang trailer where the guy goes, "Are you gonna miss me?" He goes, "Oh man, you're my coworker. You're not my best friend." He says, and the guy goes,
Hell,
"Yeah, yeah." He goes, "Oh shit, I'm your best damn friend." You know, he's been with his partner so long. And look, me and Joe Paul was a best friend to me. Me and Mike Pontius, we get together and fish and talk freaking barbecue. And I go down and help with barbecuing. The friendships. Now, Vic, you were my friend before I ever brought you into EMS. But I mean, you were my friend before. But I'd have never met Mike if I wouldn't have been working down there on the coast.
We were true backstabbing friends with pencils.
Oh, neck stabbing. I stabbed you in the neck, not the back.
Close enough, the back of the neck.
You still got a black dot back there.
Yeah, and in the top of my hand.
I'll never forget. Because it all started with Vic stabbing me. You know, he'd get me with a pencil. And he'd go up there to the pencil sharpener. He'd stick that pencil in. And he's sitting there sharpening. He's looking back over that shoulder at me. And just a grinning. He's sharpening. He's looking. He blows that off. He looks at it. He sticks it back in. He's sharpening again. Looks over at me. He's nodding. I'm fixing to stab the shit out of you with this pencil, is what he was saying. And by the time he sat down, because he was in the desk right in front of me, I stabbed him right in the back of the neck.
With what?
I stabbed him with a pencil in the back of the neck when we were kids.
I got freaking lead right here in my eye from where I juked myself right on my eyebrow.
Well, he's got a black dot on the back of his neck that he's still tattooed from the 8th grade Miss Hightower's class.
Where is it?
We were 24-hour shifts.
24-year ass. You were 72-hour shifts, or did you come in after that?
I was 24-48 in Gulfport at Mobile Medic.
We were
48-72 on a few trucks over in South Louisiana that I worked on.
AmServ was like you work Friday, get off Monday.
Yeah, that
off Monday.
Y'all were on
Wednesday.
When I was at AmServ, it's 24-48. That's what brought me in, because I was working a 48-72 over in South Louisiana.
Where'd you work over there?
I left Washington Parish Ambulance Service to go. I was the first paramedic in Bogalusa.
Okay.
They were a basic service until I got there, and I recruited another paramedic to be my back-to-back.
Well, tussle.
You talked about that Panama schedule on that 72-hour shift, that Friday, Saturday, Sunday that you worked. Yeah. It was a Saturday. No, it was a Sunday night. And I mean, we had been going and going and going. And they typically put that schedule on a slower truck. But the slower trucks, there's other slow trucks around them. So you're going and standing by when they get 10-8. You got to go halfway between their station and your station. So you're covering all the area. So we were on the road doing a lot of that. We had a lot of, it's a small hospital in the area. So we were picking up people and bringing them to the bigger city hospitals. And we were, third day, we're tired. We're war slam out. And my partner pulls up, and we used Fuel Man. Fuel Man. Yep. neatest thing in the world, man. 24 hours, not an attendant in the world. You just had a number. You pulled up to the pump. Now everybody, you pull up to the pump, throw your card in, and that's just normal. But back in the day, that was not normal. You talked
Pretty
about
cool.
you talked about the cooks coming out and filling you up and cleaning the windshield and stuff last episode. But we pulled up to Fuel Man, and he fills up, and I'm tired. I'm over there finishing a report that I had to get finished up. He fills it up. He comes back in the cab of the truck. He's sleep driving. I'm like, dude, you got to let me drive this thing. And he finally says, okay. So he gets out, gets over there on the passenger side. I go around, and when I walk out and I'm walking to get in the driver's door, I look, and out of the damn fuel tank, there is a freaking nozzle and 3 foot of hose where that breakaway quick connect is from the Fuel Man. The nozzle, he drove off with the nozzle. Damn sure did. We had a diesel nozzle at the station there. I made a trophy out of it. I mounted it on a board and brought it and hung it in the station.
I laugh. I was talked into becoming an instructor for the local basic EMT course. It was on Tuesday and Thursday. And Friday morning, I called the head instructor. I said, I ain't gonna be able to do this. There's some inappropriateness going on. And I guess it was just the nature of the beast, but I wasn't gonna tolerate it. And I said, I got to go. I had a kid. I was married. I said, I don't need it.
Yeah.
And you know, today, in today's world, you know, you're stupid if you let that happen, because fuck, you'll be on the front page of the news and sued for sexual harassment. And somehow in my mind, back in 1994, I guess I saw that potential and like said, this ain't for me. I don't need this shit. And she wasn't even pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was just gonna try to ruin my life, I guess. I don't know. All right. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, it has been a great show. Thank y'all for staying this long into the show, if y'all have made it this far. If you have any suggestions for the show, you can email us. Mike, where can they email us?
It's right there on the bottom of the screen. It's like 108 at gmail.com.
Gettin108@gmail.com. Absolutely.
Bobby, that's got a dash between the 10 and the 8.
It does. 10-8.
Yeah, it's like Gettin10-8.
It's this thing down there at the bottom of this screen. Everybody can see it now.
Gmail. I don't get it, dude. But why didn't you just get a Gmail address?
I just got to be me. Hey, you can get over it or die of it. I don't give a shit. The email is gettin108@gmail.com. You, as Joe Paul would say, yep, you about right the way you said that.
Yep. Gentlemen, y'all have a good night.
Thank you, Vic. Always a pleasure. We're going to catch y'all next time. Come back and see.
See you later, Mike. We'll see you down at your house.
Hey, you got to let me get out of this thing. Sounds good.
Later, Vic.
Later. Appreciate you.
See y'all.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Well, I guess I'll do the outro just like this. Thank y'all for sticking around this long. If you would, and you made it this long, consider mashing that like button, that subscribe button, and notifications. And we'll be back next week. Come back and see us then. You take care. Have a great week.